The KitchenAid KF4 is probably one of the smallest fully automatic espresso machine I've tested. As you can see here, it's compact, it's really clean looking, it's really nice, and it manages to pull a pretty good shot of espresso. So, is this KF4 just a cheaper, shrunk down KF8, or are you losing too much along the way? We are going to look at everything, measurement included. Hey everyone, my name is Colin and welcome back to Cafe Lista. As always, this is a fully independent review. Right now, as I'm filming, the KF4 is listed I think around $1,000 US, but it changes a lot. So I'll put a link in the description, you can go check it out, and also if you want to learn more about this machine. So this is not an entry-level machine, it's quite expensive, and at that price point I'm going to focus on the quality of espresso, the day-to-day simplicity. Is the machine really worth it? Let's start with what jumps out immediately, of course its size. KitchenAid says the machine is 25% more compact than the KF6 or the KF8 that are also reviewed on the machine. I can put the link right there. And yes, you can tell, the difference is pretty striking. It's only 7.7 inches, around 20 centimeters wide, and it easily fits into a small kitchen. But be careful here, compact doesn't mean tiny in every direction. It's still about 18.5 inches, 47 centimeters deep. And the water tank pulls also from the back. Under upper cabinets, you will sometimes need to pull the machine forward to refill it. It really solves a wide problem, but not necessarily a depth one. Still, it's a pretty tiny machine. For me, it's of course one of the biggest selling points. And that's not all, you still get the KitchenAid style, which is I like it, I think it's really well done. Understated, it's minimal, it's clean, you don't have 15 buttons, there is no unnecessary visual clutter. You can see they really work on the design. I would give it a good 4 out of 5 for the design and the build quality, even though the build quality is a little bit different, I'll tell you right now. We have a color touch screen that's pretty well made. One thing important to know, the KF4 isn't just a shrunk down KF8 or 6, it's a different machine. We lose here the removable hopper. Here it's fully fixed, so we can't change hoppers so easily. We also lose the metal finish. We have a plastic finish on the side and a few recipes. So in exchange, we have something much narrower and also cheaper, of course, and also more drinks with the cold espresso and the cold coffee, and we will talk about that in detail after. Now let's look at the interface. It is simple, you pick your drink, you can adjust the intensity, the volume and the temperature, and also the body before starting. So for the body, you will have between light, medium and strong. It's a pretty cool feature and you can do that for every single drink. That means no need to dig through the menu to change anything. You can do that every time. That's a big plus. The machine also offers 4 profiles, so each person in the house can save their own drinks, their own settings without doing it again every time. So for a family machine, it is again quite useful. Now for the grind adjustment, you do that inside the machine. So you have to remove this panel here, and there are 5 positions. It's worth pointing out because the name IntelliGrid of the machine can make you think that the machine adjusts the fineness automatically, but no, you will have to do it yourself. I think the system here will adjust the dose depending on your coffee. From power on to be ready for the espresso, around 45 seconds. There is a rinse at the beginning also. It's not the fastest machine, but still, we are under 1 minute. Now, something important for the noise. I used a proper decibel meter and I measured 60 decibels during the grinding with a peak at 63, 64 and around 50 for the pump. It is a pretty quiet machine, one of the quietest machines in the super automatic range. We have here the quiet mark, and it was a great point for the KitchenAid KF6 or KF8. It's the same on this one. Let's get to the most important part now, is the quality of the espresso. How does this machine handle extraction and the espresso? First, as you can see here, I'll show you the coffee puck. The grind is fairly fine for an automatic machine. The pucks could be quite compact, but they stay small. That's mostly because the brew group itself is quite small, the diameter. I made a lot of espresso and I measure the TDS usually around 7.5, 7%. The TDS measures how concentrated the coffee is. So on its own, it doesn't tell you if the cup is good necessarily, but for a super automatic machine, it's quite solid. Here we have an espresso with body, it's syrupy, it doesn't have that watered down feel you can get on some other bean-to-cup machine. Now you might wonder, okay, what's the dose? I also measure that, and generally I'm between 9 to 10.5 grams. So that's normal, again, because the puck is quite small, but it's also quite fine. With a 30 milliliter espresso and 10 or 11 grams of dose, I've got something that's pretty good for an automatic machine. Full body, a nice crema, you can see the aroma. So it's doing pretty well considering the dose that's not huge. I also measured the temperature of the coffee. It's around 80 degrees, 176 Fahrenheit. So if your usual complaint about an automatic machine is the lukewarm coffee, this one shouldn't disappoint you. The more you use it, the hotter the coffee will be. After 30 minutes, you can see the top also of the machine is around 50 degrees Celsius, 120 Fahrenheit. So it does warm your cup a little. It's not crazy and it's normal. Still, I would advise to put hot water in your cup first. So the quality of espresso, I'm giving a 4 out of 5. This is obviously, it's not an espresso from a good manual machine with a grinder, but for an automatic machine, the result is serious. And by the way, if you're on a machine and your coffee still comes out bitter, bland or too watery, I put together a full guide to help you dial in your machine. The link is in the description. You can go check it out and download it. In terms of black coffee, so we have the espresso, of course, we have the lungo, we also have the coffee, we have the americano and the coffee option. That's pretty cool for people who want a longer coffee. You can adjust again the intensity, the volume and the temperature, just like the other drink, and the machine will fill a large mug directly. The result is still a longer coffee made by an automatic machine, with more body than a drip coffee. It's good, but don't expect the taste, the aroma of a properly made drip coffee. But it's simple and well thought out for everyday use. Let's look in detail now at the milk drinks, because we also have some interesting options. For the milk, as you can see, KitchenAid gives you a small pitcher. It's flat, it's nice, you can put it directly in the fridge. You connect it to the machine with a tube, and the KF4 pulls the milk itself and then sends it back into your cup. So everything throughout the same spout. The machine adjusts the amount of milk and foam based on the recipe. It's simple, everything comes out so pretty easily, but there is not much here to adjust. And here, let me show you with the latte macchiato, for example. As you can see, the texture is pretty good. I really like the texture of the milk. The foam is fine, it's even, it's free of big bubbles we can find on some other system. For the milk temperature, I measured also the milk around 80-85 degrees, so it comes out pretty hot. I'll show you here on a cappuccino, and if you always find your cappuccino lukewarm with some other machine, here, again, that's a real win. And again, the drink was pretty good. In terms of selection, as you can see here, I like KitchenAid approach. There isn't like 50 recipes. It focuses on the drinks that I think matter most. A few black coffee, espresso, a longer coffee, lungo, and a few milk-based drink, the flat white, cappuccino, cafe latte. Personally, I like that logic. Fewer recipe, but well executed. Now let's look at the cold drinks. We have an option between iced coffee and iced espresso. So here it's quite interesting because KitchenAid explained that these recipes are extracted at lower temperature. It's partially true. I measured it. For me, in iced mode, I still have pretty hot water coming out the spout. Maybe a little bit less, but still at that temperature the ice melts quite fast and the coffee could get diluted. One precision here, the machine doesn't produce iced coffee or iced espresso. You need to put a good amount of ice cube in your cup. The ice does eventually cool the drink down, but this isn't a cold extraction and it's not even a room temperature extraction like some other machine could do, some competitors. To try to go around those limitations here, some advice for me. Use a cold glass that you put in the fridge before, that could help. Use also a pretty large ice cube. That helps when you're compensating for the limit and the hot water. If this kind of independent testing helps you, if you understand more this machine, consider hitting the thumbs up button, subscribing to Cafe Lista. This is really important for me. It's the best way to support the channel and to help me producing more video like that. Thanks for your support. A few words about maintenance. I know this is maybe not the most interesting subject, but it's also really important on those machines. It handles its own rinses cycle. The screens tell you which steps to follow. It's quite well made. You have here the setting, and you also have one button for the maintenance. The brew group is removable, which is a real plus for the long-term maintenance. You can, and you have to, pull it every week, rinse it under water, so no detergent, don't put it in the dishwasher. But one thing really interesting is the milk system cleaning. It's also well designed. Usually when you have a tube like that, it's kind of a pain, but here you unplug the tube and you put it back in the tray. There is a little slot here, and then you will start the rinse cycle. The machine usually asks that every time you use the milk, and that's a lot simpler than taking the whole system apart after every cappuccino. Now, a little trade-off is that the KF4 uses a fair amount of water. Between the rinses at the startup, shutdown and the milk system cleaning, the tank level drops pretty fast and the drip tray here fills up regularly. But at least the rinses actually do the job. Who is this machine for? I would recommend the KF4 if you're mainly after a pretty compact, narrow, a simple, a good-looking automatic espresso machine. What do I think about the KitchenAid KF4? Is this a win? Overall, yes, I think it's pretty good. Maybe not for everyone. The biggest strength, of course, its footprint. It makes really good espresso considering the size of the puck. The milk drinks are well made, the machine is quite silent. Yes, you have some cold option with those limitations that we just talked about. But, and it's quite important, it's still a pretty expensive machine, so it's not for every budget, unfortunately. And I'm wondering, what do you think about this KitchenAid? You can leave me a comment or question right below. And don't leave yet. The video appearing here, I'm pretty sure will interest you. I'll recommend you watching it. As always on Cafe Lista, I hope you have a good week. I'll see you soon. Ciao.